Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jessica McDonald. I'm a knitwear designer and I am coming to you from a small town in the mountains of Idaho. Today is Tuesday, November. I almost had the wrong day. Instead I got the wrong month. November 16th, Tuesday, November 16th. I'm going to upload this tomorrow night, so it will be live for you sometime the night between Wednesday and Thursday, so that it will be hopefully live on Thursday. And on Thursday, this sweater that I'm wearing here is going to be released. So I'm trying to time this podcast for the release date of this sweater so that all of my lovely subscribers on here, all of you guys, can hear all about it, and I can offer you a discount code as well. So this is Riverlands. Let me move my hair so you can see it. Riverlands is a bottom up modified drop shoulder all over cabled and textured pullover. It has, let me stand up a minute. Here it has a split hem here. The split hem detail I'm really fond of, but if you are not a fan of a split hem, I have instructions in the pattern for a traditional normal hem as well without the split. Something I'm particularly proud of is in this, the sun's in the way, the way I've treated the edge of the ribbing for this split is it makes this, this edge right here really nice and neat. I want to come see if I can show it to you. Now I'm moving into the sun. It's not wanting to focus. This is very professional, isn't it? There, now it's focusing on it. You can see this is the inside edge and it just rolls around. Here's the outside edge. So it just has this really, really neat edge on that split. So I'm pretty proud of that. That's why I wanted to show it off. Focus this again. So it's knit from the bottom up to the underarm, and then you separate for front and back, and then they're knit flat until you do the neckline shaping. And then there's no short rows in the shoulder, they're just worked square. And then after you've joined the shoulders, you work this neckline, which is a fold over neckline. You can see it's doubled and folded over. And I've got a tutorial for how to do this folded neckline on my blog, and that is linked in the pattern. So you can very easily make a really nicely finished fold over neckline. The sleeves are just plain stockinette, slim fitting to balance the heavily textured and loose fitting body, and a fold over cuff to match the fold over neckline. So this is Riverlands. The back matches the front. And all of these cables, so when I was designing this, I wanted to make a cabled pullover that would maximize the impact of the texture and the cables, but would still be very, very easy to knit. So all of these cables, these nice, fat, squishy cables, they are all exactly the same. You have one here and then two here, one here. It's the same on the back. All of this texture is double moss stitch. It's all double moss stitch all the way around. So you can knit this really, really classic, impactful, bold, heavily cabled and textured pullover, but it's really easy, really, really easy. You can follow one page of charts. It crosses every 12th row, and then you just continue the double moss stitch patterning in between. It's super simple. It's so easy to knit. If you have been intimidated by cables or just don't want to deal with the fuss, this one is perfect for you because it has been designed specifically to be a fairly simple knit while still looking amazing. Fantastic. So, Riverlands. It is out now. It's available on Ravelry and my website. I'll put links to those places down below so you can go and get it. And for 15% off through Sunday, which is the 21st, this should be the 21st, you can get 15% off with the code Riverlands. That's the same as the name of the sweater in all caps. That code is good on my website and on Ravelry. If you are a newsletter subscriber, go and check your email. Newsletter subscribers get 20% off just as an extra treat for letting me pop into their inbox. If you want to get 20% off as well, you can sign up for my newsletter. There is a link in the description box below. If you sign up for it now, you will get a new subscribers welcome email with a coupon for 20% off in it that you can use. And you'll also still get the last chance email that will go out Sunday morning, which will have the subscribers coupon code in it as well. So Riverlands gets you 15% off. If you want more, you'll have to sign up for my newsletter. My newsletter really is the best place for you to be if you are interested in my designs, because you're always the first to know and you get the best discount and you won't miss it. So there's my sales spiel. This is Riverlands, out today if you're watching this on Thursday, so go grab it. And thank you for everyone who supports me and buys my patterns. I do really appreciate all of the support you give my business. It's fantastic, so thank you. Now, shall we move on to whips? Because I don't have any FOs. Yes, I don't have any FOs. So, you might be a little bit disappointed in me. Here is Blizzard again. This is, I think, the third podcast in which it has been a work in progress. We now have one sleeve here. You see the sleeve is plain. I didn't put any color work in the sleeve. I just wanted to keep it really simple. One of my test knitters, who's also one of my tech editors, added a little bit of color work at the sleeve, which if you are a more experienced knitter, you could very easily do, but I wanted to keep it nice and simple because this is aimed at people who are not comfortable, not confident knitting color work yet. So we've got one sleeve. The second sleeve will come soon. I'm thinking, so I was in a little bit of a panic a week ago thinking, what on earth will I take along with me to knit over Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving is next week Thursday. So we're going to my parents' house and it's always very busy there, and there's a total of 8 hours of sitting in the car on the way there and the way back. So I'll need something really simple to knit that I can just sit and knit, and I don't have to think about it, I don't have to count, I don't have to worry about. I can set it down whenever, wherever, pick it back up, you know. Travel knitting, you know, traveling with many small children to a family gathering where there will be many other small children. So I thought I would save this second sleeve for this coming week when we go to my parents' house for Thanksgiving, because a stockinette sleeve in the round is really simple, really easy, and will be perfect for car knitting and perfect for knitting while I'm chatting with my family and watching my kids and all my nieces and nephews. So I thought I'd save it for then. So hopefully by the next time you see this, it will be an FO and there will be 2 sleeves. I'm planning to take the final pictures, like the official pattern photos, when we go cut a Christmas tree in the mountains, which we will probably do the weekend after Thanksgiving. So I need to have it done in about 2 weeks from now so we can take the pictures, because this pattern will be out in January. It's currently in test knitting, and some test knitters have already beaten me down with theirs. It's kind of poor for the designer to still be lagging behind. I don't know. But anyway, so this one will be out in January. It's called Blizzard. It is designed for people who are not super confident knitting color work. It's designed to be very easy to knit, so you can practice your color work and gain confidence in that skill, and then make all kinds of color work stuff, because it's my favorite. So every time I put it against myself and look at myself in my camera screen over here, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's so gorgeous. It's just so striking with this light color work against the dark main color. It's just pretty. I can admire my own design, can't I? Okay, so there's Blizzard, still a whip. But I have another whip that I will show you. This one's pretty exciting. So if you've been around for a while, you know about Woodland Ramble, which is the collection of kids patterns I released in October. That is my first self-published book as well, although you can get all of the patterns individually if you don't want to spring for a book. But oh, I'm in the middle of a row. Well, that's pretty poor form. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to pause and finish this row so I can show it to you. Now, this is the grown-up version of Tamarack. So in Woodland Ramble, I have Tamarack, which is worn by Jimmy. It is, hang on a second. I realized I had them sitting on my guest bed, which is right behind my tripod. It is this one. This is Tamarack. So this is available in the Woodland Ramble book, ebook, and as an individual pattern on Ravelry and my website. This is Tamarack. It is just a very simply textured shawl collar cardigan. Very classic, very simple, but absolutely timeless. This has actually been one of the more popular patterns from the collection. And this is, oh, drop my yarn. This is the adult version of it. So you can see I'm going with the exact same color yarn. This is Durerum Natura Juliet in the color Caramel. It's a lovely rusty brown color. So this is the adult sized one. I am going to be grading up all of the sweaters from Woodland Ramble and releasing them next year, next fall sometime. This is the first one. So here it is. I started it last Wednesday, I think. So this is just under a week of knitting and I'm already 3-4 inches in on the body. This is where I was this morning. Just put a little removable stitch marker to be a progress keeper, which I don't generally do, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to try because I see people are very excited about progress keepers, so I thought I'd try it. So it is a raglan construction. There will be a V-neck here, which is rolled under, so you can't really see. There's a V-neck line in the front, now you can see it. And then it will have the same shawl collar as the kid version, just a ribbed shawl collar with buttons. But I think I'll make the buttons, these are a 1-inch button. I think I might do an 1.5-inch button, size button. Do a bigger buttonhole because the button band on this one is going to be 2 inches instead of 1 inch. This is a size 6, so that has a 1-inch button band. Size 8, 10, and 12 have a 1.5 inches, and then all the adult sizes are going to have a 2-inch button band. So I'm thinking if I do an 1.5 inch diameter button, it will look nice. And anyway, so this is Tamarack, the grown-up Tamarack. I still haven't decided what I will name the grown-up versions of all these sweaters. We'll see. I have no idea. But it uses broken rib stitch, which produces this really, really fantastic texture that's just knits and purls. And here's something that I'd completely forgotten that I had done. But when you're knitting broken rib stitch, one side is knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, and one side is just knit if it's on the right side, or purl if it's on the wrong side. So I decided that the knit row, the plain row where you don't do any patterning, would be the knit row, worked on the wrong side, and then you would work the patterning on, hang on, did I say wrong side? The plain knit row is on the right side, so you can just knit on the right side, and then the patterning is worked on the wrong side. So you knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl on the wrong side, because I know most people prefer to knit and they don't really like to purl. So I thought that way you're working the knit purl texture on the wrong side, and then your plain row is a knit row instead of working knit purl on the right side and having to purl the wrong side. Hopefully that makes sense. But ultimately it ends up with a more pleasant knitting experience for you. So it's very simple. I've written out every row, so it will be very easy for you all to follow, so you can just enjoy enjoy making this really fantastic handsome cardigan. Just that texture is just dreamy, isn't it? It's so simple, so simple, and it's really enjoyable to knit. I'm a homeschooling mom, if you didn't know that. I homeschool, and I always have my knitting when I homeschool, and I can very easily knit this texture while I homeschool. Like something like cables or something a little more complex, I can't really have while I'm doing school with my kids, because I gotta constantly put it down and pick it up, and I lose track where I am. But this, I can knit no trouble at all. So yeah, just look how beautiful that texture is. That's stunning. It's gorgeous. So yeah, the first one from the Grown Up sweaters. The Grown Up collection is going to be called Forest. So you can look forward to that sometime next year. Probably September is kind of what I'm shooting for. I'm going to try to do 7 or 8 patterns for this, so it's going to take me a little while, and make it into a book. So it's going to take me a little while to get it done. So there's my first whip. I'll get my yarn. It's actually kind of technically my last whip. My husband, whom I love dearly, hates sweaters, has always hated sweaters, always hates sweaters, doesn't like wool because it's itchy, and he has the tender skin of an infant, and is very picky about things being soft, and if there's just a tiny bit of prickle, he can't wear it. So there were years and years and years where he did not want me to make him a sweater. Like, he did not want me to make him a sweater because he's like, I don't want one, I won't wear it, don't make me one. About a year and a half ago, he said, why don't you make me a sweater? Excuse me, what did you just say? I'm like, okay, you want me to make you a sweater, we'll do something really soft. And so I took him to my closet with all my yarn in it, to let him squish all of it. I told him, if you want something really soft, we'll go with this one. He wanted something that's in it, like an oatmeal shade. So he ultimately settled on Quince & Co. Lark, which is incredibly soft, like baby soft. It's not like a cashmere soft, but it's soft. It's no prickle to it or anything. This is the color Audouin. I've used it a fair amount, but he wanted a light oatmeal-y shade, and it fits the bill, and it's nice and soft. There was no way I was going to knit him something in a lighter weight than worsted weight, so doing worsted weight. And I was like, okay, we picked a yarn, and I hopped onto Ravelry and did all the filters on the pattern search for a cabled men's sweater and worsted weight yarn. I'm like, here you go, pick one, I'll make it. No, he does not want to pick a pattern that already exists. Perhaps I did not mention this, but he's also very picky about what he wears. In my experience, men are very picky about what they wear. He wants me to design him a sweater. I'm a bit terrified because I'm going to design him a sweater he doesn't like and he doesn't wear, and I'm going to have knit this man-sized sweater that just sits there. And I bought this I bought this yarn about a year ago, a full year ago. Last November is when I bought it. And it's been sitting in the closet because I am just terrified I'm going to knit a whole man-sized sweater and he's going to hate it and never wear it, which I don't have all the knitting time in the world, so it's pretty precious to me. I don't want to waste it on a sweater that doesn't get worn. And then about a month or two ago, I just had this light bulb moment that was like, if he doesn't wear it, I can just roll up the sleeves and have an oversized sweater, or I can get it wet and throw it in the dryer and shrink it and have a really dense, cozy sweater. Like, either way, I can just wear it myself. There is a sweater that my mom gave him for his birthday many, many years ago, and he never ever wore it. It's a beautiful wool sweater. And finally one day I was like, it's a shame that it just sits on the shelf in the closet. So I wear it now, and I just roll up the sleeves. And it's really big and boxy, but it's the perfect style for today. And I mean, all the kids would think I look cool. So like, I can just do that. I can just roll up the sleeves and go. And just have this really big sweatshirty oversized sweater. So that gave me a bit of confidence to move forward with this because I was a bit scared. So he likes a traditional fisherman style sweater. That's what he likes, like looking through patterns that are available and looking through Pinterest and trying to figure out what styles he likes. He likes a cabled fisherman style sweater. He is Scots-Irish ancestry, so that appeals to him as well because it's a connection to his ancestry. So I have started moving forward with this sweater, which you can see I've swatched quite a bit. Swatched nearly an entire skein already, and I don't want to show you too much, but here's the swatch for the main center cable. This is just moss stitch, so I don't mind showing you that. This is just moss stitch for the texture that goes around it. This is something that's not going to work. That was an idea I had that's just not going to be right for it. So I've got another chart that I made in here. I hope I have another chart that I made in here. Do I? I do not. Well, I made another chart that I need to print out for another set of cables that I think will go on it as well. So we're moving forward with that design, which hopefully he loves, because if he doesn't, it will be mine. I also, when I bought this yarn for Jim, I got a sweater quantities in the color Fox. Yeah, the Fox, the orangey color for Jimmy, so that I can make a kid's version of it that Jimmy will love because it matches his dad's sweater and is orange. Although he has lately been saying that his favorite color is green because that's his dad's favorite color. And he worships his dad, so maybe he'll hate it. I don't know. Men are so picky, aren't they? Anyway, so there's my current project that I'm working on designing. And then I have a little more future knitting plans I'd like to show you now. So last podcast, I horribly mispronounced the name of this yarn. It came the very next day after I filmed. Biches. So thank you to everybody who told me how to say it, and to everybody who has said it on the internet between now and then so that I could hear what it's actually supposed to sound like. So this is Biches, and they came out with a new yarn base. They have a fingering weight of this and another one that I'm pretty sure is Aran weight, but it might be worse. I'm pretty sure it's Aran weight. And they came out with one that is a DK/light worsted weight. And it uses a US size 6 needle, which is the needle size I use for all of my DK weight projects. I got a sweater quantity of it here. It's just been sitting here on my desk so I can admire it. I bought this in the dark gray green color. Move my face so it looks at the yarn instead, which is a heathered green. I don't know if you can tell, there's a little more yellow in it. Is it focusing on the yarn? There's a little more yellow in it than I thought there would be when I saw the picture of it online. It's not like a yellow, but like a yellow tinted green as part of the heathering. Let me focus this again, make sure you can see me. But it's still mostly just a really dark green. I wouldn't say there's much gray in it. Maybe a little bit of really dark charcoal gray. Anyway, it's a lovely, nice green shade. Guess my favorite color. I bet you never will. Oh, that reminds me, I never told you what yarn Riverlands is made out of. I'll do that in a minute. So I bought this so that I can reknit my Woodsmoke sweater. So Woodsmoke I released, I think it's been almost 2 years now. Here it is in all of its mohair glory. It is a very simple top-down round yoke, plain, simple, basic sweater. I designed this with the beginning knitter in mind, or somebody who wants just a really simple, basic sweater. So it is in 20 sizes from 3 months all the way up to a 70-inch chest circumference. So you could say it's size inclusive. I'm just very simple, basic sweater. And I do not wear this because I knit it out of a strand of fingering weight merino held together with a strand of lace weight mohair, which is a very popular combination to do these days. You can see it's so nice and fuzzy. Doesn't it look good? But I cannot wear mohair. It is so irritating. I just cannot wear it for more than an hour and then I have to take it off because it's just, I just can't wear mohair. I also can't wear alpaca, so using Surrey alpaca instead of mohair is not going to work for me. But anyway, tried it, realized I didn't like it, but I think I would wear this sweater a ton. It's very simple, minimal. If you knit it in a gorgeous yarn, it just be a fantastic basic sweater that you could wear with anything. I would love to have this in my wardrobe, just not involving mohair. So this is at a DK weight gauge, which is really versatile because you can hold it together, a fingering weight strand of merino with a strand of mohair, like I did here, or you can use a DK weight yarn, or even some sport weight yarns will get the appropriate gauge. For the baby version, I used Quince & Co. Chickadee and got the appropriate gauge. So I'm going to reknit Woodsmoke. By the way, this pattern is available on Ravelry and my website. Links. I'll put links below if you want to go buy one. So I'm going to reknit this, but I'm thinking that I'm going to make it several sizes larger. So I recommend, in the pattern, I recommend 2 to 4 inches of positive ease, but I think I'm going to go for like 10 inches of positive ease. I just have this really big, oversized, sweatshirt-y, cozy sweater. I think I'm going to do that. I might also do a folded neckline. We'll see how adventurous I feel when I cast it on. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a nice oversized one, so it's kind of like a cozy sweatshirt, which will work just fine. The neckline size on a sweater is one of the most important things to mind when you are designing. And the necklines on Woodsmoke are all kept very close. Like if the larger sizes, the neckline does not get exorbitantly large. I can't remember if I did all of the adult sizes the same neckline circumference or if I changed them. Here comes my children.
Mom, we turned the non-fizzy purple into fizzy yellow.
Into fizzy yellow? Are you... That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but it doesn't glow.
Don't bump, no, don't bump that. Okay, can you guys go? I'm still filming my podcast. Can you close the door when you go too? Okay, see you guys later.
See you later.
They're doing, my 8-year-old got a chemistry kit for her birthday this last summer, and she does experiments in it every so often, and they're doing an experiment. So let me start over. Hang on. So the interruption made me entirely lose my train of thought. I was talking about the necklines. In a lot of sweaters, the neckline size becomes a serious issue in the larger sizes because as the sweater is getting larger around the chest or whatever's the main measurement, the designer also makes the neckline much larger. which doesn't really work because people's necks don't really get bigger, maybe slightly larger, but they really don't. Like, my neck is probably a smaller circumference than a man's neck, but it's not going to be a significant difference in size, and as people's chest circumferences increase, their necks don't increase by an exorbitant amount. They stay roughly the same. Everybody has roughly the same size neck. So I minded that fact in the neckline as I was designing this. So if I decide to make a size with 10 inches of ease, the neckline is still gonna fit really nicely on this sweater. So I think I'm gonna do that. It'd be nice and sweatshirty. I was thinking it would be nice I could wear it camping because it's a little more rustic wool, so it will stand up to some more sturdier wearing conditions versus just being worn around the house. Because I really love to wear a wool sweater while camping, and something nice and loose fitting and big and sweatshirty will be perfect for that. So this is going to be done sometime in the future. I probably won't start this project until after I'm done with all of the forest patterns, just because I really need to get those done in the next 3 or 4 months. That's pretty quick. So I need to spend all of my knitting time working on those patterns instead of reknitting something that already exists. Reknitting something that already exists. Didn't mean to mutter there. So that's gonna happen. And then I have some other yarn here that's very exciting. So Jill of Knitterella, I don't know her last name, maybe it's Zelinsky? Maybe it's on here. It's not on here. Maybe it's on the inside. There's some stuff on the inside of the tags as well. I don't think it says her last name, but Jill of Knitterella. She is a designer, and she came out with a yarn that she just released 2 months ago, I think. It's called North Bay Fiber. It's 100% Targhee Polypay wool, which is something I have never knit with before, so it sounds really cool. It's made in America, and on her tag right here, she says, sourced in Ogemaw County, Michigan, dyed in Littlewood, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, spun at the Zillinger Wool Mill in Frankenmuth, Michigan, and designed in Pinconning, Michigan. So I love how it says where it's from, exactly where it's from. So that's really cool. For 2022, I want to try to focus a lot more on American-made yarns, particularly yarns that are from small women-owned companies, small American-made companies. I already said that. Small women-owned American-made wool companies. So of course I wanted to get my hands on some of this North Bay Fiber. I'll put it up close so you can see it. It is DK weight and woolen spun. It is so squishy. Like, it is just, the squish on it is just to die for. It's very soft, very, very soft. And this is the natural color. She has, I think, 6 colors, and a lot of them sold quite quickly. But I decided to go with the natural color because I have been wanting a woolen spun yarn, something super soft and squishy that I can make a large shawl from. Last winter, I just got sick of being so darn cold. We keep our house at 67 degrees in the winter. So it's not toasty warm in here, and on days when it's particularly brutal outside, I feel colder even though the house is the same temperature, and I thought it would be really nice, really, really nice to have just this big cozy shawl I can wrap around myself. It's basically like a small wearable, slightly more socially acceptable blanket I could wear around. And so I think that's what I'm going to make with this. Before I bought my yarn, I got 5 skeins of this. I went through Ravelry and looked at other DK weight shawls and looked at their yardage estimates and tried to get the amount of yarn that would roughly get me a shawl quantity of yarn, because I don't really knit shawls, so I didn't know quite how much yarn I would need. So I've got 5 skeins of it in natural, and here they are. I'm going to make a shawl. Probably not until like springtime with the way I've got my schedule going. So this is 50 grams, so it's 150 yards. So that's what this is. Super exciting. Yeah. Next winter I'll be cozy, right? Yeah. So this is sitting here on my desk, and every once in a while I just squish it and pet it because it's just so soft. So North Bay fiber, if you want to go get some yourself, which I think is northbayfiber.com or at North Bay Fiber on Instagram. I'll put a link to it. Of course I will. So that is all of my news, but since I completely forgot to tell you the yarn Riverlands is made out of, let me now tell you. So Riverlands is made out of Ampersand Fibers Jensen DK. You may have heard of Shop La Mercerie. Jess Povenmire, I believe her last name is Povenmire, owns and runs Shop La Mercerie. And a year ago now, I think it was last fall she released, or maybe it was winter time. But anyway, it's been a little while now. She released her own yarn, which is called Ampersand Fibers. It is available only from her shop, Shop La Mercerie. I'll put a link to it down below. It is a 100% American sourced, spun, produced Corriedale wool. Let me find the yarn tag. I've got the leftovers here. So Ampersand Fibers. 100% US Corriedale. She doesn't say exactly where it's from on the yarn tag, but she was going to give me a few more details so I can tell people about it this weekend when I release the pattern. So yeah, 100 grams, 280 yards per skein. This is the DK weight. There's also fingering weight. I'm not sure what she calls her fingering weight, but the DK weight is called Jensen DK. She named them after her favorite fonts. She's a bit of a bibliophile. And this color is Scheele, S-C-H-E-E-L-E. 3, each of the colors, so there's like green as a color, and then it has 3 shades. And so all of the greens are named Scheele, and that's Scheele 1, 2, 3, and 3 is the darkest shade, and it's this really, really perfect and lovely dark green color, which is fantastic. You know how I love green. It is perfect. It is perfect for cables, like just absolutely perfect. If you're looking for a DK weight yarn to knit something cabled out of, you should go check this one out because it is just perfect. I mean, look at this stitch definition. Just look at this. Look at this squish on this. You can see the texture very clearly. The cables pop nicely and stand out beautifully. Like, it's just perfect. Perfect for cables and for textures. And it is US made, American made wool from a small woman owned company. So yes. Ampersand Fibers, Jensen DK. I will put a link to it down below. This is left over from my sweater. And I have a little swatch here. I was planning to make this into a cozy pair of socks this winter, which I meant to do already, but I haven't gotten to it. So that's why it's sitting over here on my desk, reminding me constantly that it needs its love. So I tend to just pile up yarns and things in this corner over here so that I can look at them constantly and dream of what fantastic thing I'm going to make out of them. So I think I've talked your ear off for long enough. I am going to go and try to accomplish something before Aiden wakes up from his nap. Anyway, so if you like Riverlands, it's out now. Don't forget to use the code Riverlands for 15% off. I'll put a link to it down below in the description box. And if you want to sign up for my newsletter and get more % off every time I release something, then I'll put a link to that as well. So go sign up for my newsletter. Go grab this pattern while it is on a discount, because the discount will end on Sunday, which is just a few days from now. And yeah, subscribe to my channel. I suppose I should mention that as well. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel so you see more. Also, if you are somebody who wants to knit colorwork and has been eyeing this, I have a really fantastic colorwork tutorial that I have been filming over the course of making Blizzard. So if you subscribe to my channel, you will not miss out on that tutorial. It's gonna be fantastic. So until next time, you guys, I'm gonna go knit and see what my children are up to. And I hope you all have a fantastic Thanksgiving for those of you who are celebrating it. And happy knitting, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.